Okay, so for our mixed practice and the first problem, the first question that I always like to ask is there anything to simplify? Can I write and I'm looking to the left side of the equal sign, is there anything over there I can combine? Any of those like terms, anything that I can make simpler over there? No, because I got a 4x, it's not like minus 7, I can't do anything. Same idea here. And so it's always, my mindset is always, is there something to simplify? Simplify, simplify, okay, I can't do it. Start undoing. Is there multiple ways? I believe that there is, Rebecca. Multiple ways. And I'm not asking this question to get your attention. Multiple ways that I could start undoing this. What would be one way that I could start undoing to get x alone? Because that's the whole point. What's one way, Nicole? I could add 7 to both sides. I sure could. What's another way I could start this? I could subtract 15. What else? Kyle? I could undo. So I could subtract this, or I could subtract this. So since there's 4 things going on, I got 4 choices about how I start. I'm going to give you a little piece of advice. My starting point, I always focus on the x's. Is there a way, because I've got x's on the left and I got x's on the right, is there a way that I could make this, manipulate this, and think ahead so when I start to undo, that I wind up with positive x's? And I'm thinking, go ahead, Kyle. If I take away the 2 x's, I'm going to be left with positive 2 x's. So there is that point now I'm going to ask you, stop and think. Is there a best way to start? And ideally, combining those x's is probably a way you can avoid some issues down the road with negatives and whatnot. And you start working downwards now. 4x minus 2x gives me 2x. I still have minus 7. My 2x minus 2x over here, that winds up going bye-bye. There's nothing left. But what remains on the right-hand side? Now I'm forced into my next undoing step. If my goal is to get x alone, I only have one option for what comes next. Say it if you know it.
Plus 7.
Add 7 to both sides. Getting that out of the way. On the left-hand side, what remains is 2x. I'm keeping my equal sign lined up. 15 plus 7 is going to result in 22. I'm forced to do one more step. I have 2x equals 22. Got one more operation to undo. Divide by, it's 2 times x, so I'm going to divide everything by 2, because that will leave me with just x equals 11. Now, I've been in the habit of this for years and years. Don't know why. I like to circle my answers, but not until. I'm going to do a check. I'm going to go right over here. On the left-hand side, have your calculator. We said x is 11. If I put in 4 times 11 minus 7, what do I get? And notice I'm only doing the left-hand side of the equation right there. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to put in 2 times 11 plus 15. I need to be getting the same thing. So what I did to check it is, I took what's on the left side, bless you, I took what's on the left side, and I put 11 in. I found out what I had, and then I took what's on the right side of the equal sign, and I put 11 in, and I got the same thing. So now I'm comfortable to go, let me put my answer right there. So if you're doing it on your separate paper, do your check as you write it onto your line paper. What questions might you have before we go on? Number 2. A little more going on in 2. Negative 4 equals negative 4 times the quantity f minus 7. Think about what step is going to come first. Is there simplifying that needs to happen? So, is there a word that somebody has come into mind regarding simplification? I feel like the right side needs to be simplified, for sure. This can be written simpler before my undoing. What word, Andre? You got it. Mr. Petticourt and I were talking about this weekend. We're still seeing, both of us, still. It's like you draw the arrows and you go, okay, I got to do negative 4 times f, negative 4 times f. And you draw the arrow to show negative 4 times negative 7, but you don't do it. a negative times a negative?
Positive.
And what's 4 times 7? Okay. So make sure that you distribute through both terms. I stop distributing at the end of my parentheses. What is going to be my first step in undoing? That was a simplify step. Make what's on the right simpler. Nicole. Okay, I didn't ask the question about what 4 ways can we start this problem. You know, is there really multiple ways to start if I need to get F alone? There's only one thing going on, well, I lied, there's 2 things going on around F, but the first thing I need to take care of is, let's get this 28 out of here. If it's being added, I'm going to subtract it. So whenever I start undoing, it's a matter of going across, all right, so now, -4, I'm at -4, and I got to go another 28 into the negative. It's going to be at -32. And on the right side, I'm left with -4F. Questions here? What am I going to do to finish? Divide by the number stuck to the letter always. You got it. Last step. The -4F becomes just F. And then go into your calculator if you need to. Is this answer going to be positive or negative? Yeah. 8. Now, what's the last step that you need to do before you write your answer on paper? Check. And in this case then, actually, look, -4 here. I just need to put in my 8. So I'm going to put -4. I'm going to use the parentheses. Is it -4 times 8 minus 7? Is that equal to the -4? It certainly is. And I'm going to go here. And then I'm going to go here and put my answer. And if your life couldn't get